We welcome you to the Putnam County Baseball Championship game here on Endeavor Communications. Greg Rakestraw, Sean Walker with you, our MTC Sports crew. We appreciate you being with us. We had hoped to have this for you on Saturday. Mother Nature allowed us to play 2 games in the Putnam County semifinals on Saturday, not the championship game. It might be a little bit warmer, but nice, dry, and sunshine for this championship game. Sean, as always, a pleasure to see you. And let's face it, these 4 schools in Putnam County are so geographically close to each other. They're conference rivals, they're county rivals. This game awfully important to both teams with the regular season coming to an end this weekend.
It really is. This is the time of the year you want to be playing your best baseball, and what a great momentum boost or something that you can check off from your list of accomplishments or goals that you set at the beginning of the year. For one of these teams today, they're going to be crowned champion.
For each of these 2 teams, they'll play at least once or twice more this weekend, then begin postseason play by the middle of next week. The kind of annual Memorial Day week start of the baseball postseason. We'll talk about the postseason dates and schedule for each of these 2 teams throughout the course of today's game as well. Impact players now in this game. Let's focus on one key player for each team.
Yeah, look at Jack Kendall, just a sophomore. They're from North Putnam, hitting over 300. He's got 3 home runs on the season. A lot of power coming there from first base. And on the other side, it's the pitcher for today, Trey Scanlon. We're going to talk about his offensive numbers, though. You know, hitting 343 on the season, 24 RBIs, a couple of sensational sophomores, as Dickie V would say. And there you go.
A lot of youth on both teams, but especially on North Putnam, a very young team that North Putnam has this year. Our Impact players brought to us by Endeavor E-Techs and IT Services. You'll see a key player on each side, but maybe a difference maker for today's game. Who's going to be the X factor in this county championship?
Well, the X factor is Tanner Nicholson. He was actually, I believe he had some innings and was scheduled originally to pitch, but they're going to go with Scanlon. But you look at his offensive numbers there, hitting well over 400, almost 450, 27 hits on the year, and he leads the team with 6 triples. Just a fantastic player on both sides of the ball.
Between Nicholson and as well as Fleming or Scanlon, on this team, those guys have combined for 39 of the 75 runs batted in for this Greencastle club. If they get offensive production, it largely comes from the 3 and 4 spots in the lineup. Finally, now time for our keys to today's game. Our X Factor brought to us by our friends at eShield and Endeavor Communications. Keys to victory, and this is the case seemingly in every high school baseball matchup. You can't give extra outs. You can't give free base runners in a game like this.
No, and these 2 teams were victorious on Saturday mainly because of that. They had those big innings where the other team they were playing against gave them some extra outs. It led to a lot more runs. Number 2, you want to stay on top of the hitters. It's going to be important for the pitchers to get out in front today. And in 3, obviously, timely hits. If you get runners on base and in scoring position, you can't strand them out there today. You got to get them across.
Head coach is getting ready to meet behind home plate with our umpiring crew. The head coach for North Putnam, Brian Jeter. Troy Remsburg, the head coach at Greencastle, and our umpiring crew, Kevin Faust and Russell McCamick, for this championship game. With that, we'll quickly step aside. We'll have the starting lineups and first pitch from this Putnam County Baseball Championship game in just a moment. It is brought to you on Endeavor Communications.
Construction projects mean deadlines. At McAllister Machinery and the Cat Rental Store, we understand the challenges our customers face. That's why our team of professionals are here to help. From our knowledgeable support staff to our industry-leading service department, McAllister Machinery and the Cat Rental Store are here to make sure you get the right equipment delivered on time. Whether it's Cat equipment, JLG lifts, or Solaire air compressors, we carry it all. McAllister Machinery and the Cat Rental Store, helping build Indiana since 1945.
Endeavor Communications has been your hometown telephone provider for over 60 years. By providing crystal clear voice service, super fast internet, exciting television entertainment, security systems to help keep your family safe, and IT services for home and business, Endeavor continues to be the leader of technology in our communities. Call 1-800-922-6677 or go to our website at weendeavor.com for more details about all Endeavor services.
We broke Old Man Hennessy's window.
Correction, dude. You broke. I just threw the ball.
This is really bad. What are we gonna do?
Dude, kiss your life goodbye.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude.
Keep smiling, keep shining. No,
Hi. Tell him it was an accident, and we can fix the window. I'll come with you.
oh, that's what friends are for.
Baseball Rules on ESPN.
It's gone!
The biggest stars,
Diving, and he made the grab.
the top rivalries,
That ball was crushed.
and playoff contenders.
You're going to be kidding me with this guy. And the ball game is over.
Rule 20.15. Play ball. Baseball Rules on ESPN.
Are you a fan of exciting action, great sporting atmosphere, and good displays of sportsmanship?
I am definitely a fan.
High school sports, pure spirit, pure sport, pure entertainment value. Are you a fan of amazing spirit, incredible drama, and affordable ticket prices?
I'm definitely a fan.
High school sports, pure spirit, pure sport, pure entertainment value.
Endeavor eShield gives you peace of mind that your home, family, and business are safe. eShield provides burglar protection, leak detection, carbon monoxide, smoke and heat detection, and asset protection to secure your valuables. And of course, there's 24/7 monitoring. Total Connect Remote Services controls your system through your smartphone, tablet, or any other wireless device. Call 1-800-922-6677 or go to our website at weendeavor.com for more details. Endeavor Communications. We protect what you cherish most.
Starting lineups have been introduced to the crowd here at Greencastle High School. National anthem just completed. Time now for us to bring in the starting lineups. First, for the visitors from North Putt, coming in at 8-12 on the season. Let's go over their batting lineup. The pitcher in Bobby Shaley will lead things off, batting .322 on the season. Jack Kendall provides a lot of the power for this club at .319 and 3 home runs on the season. And look at the batting average of Hayden Rudes, and he was a late addition to the starting lineup today for Brian Jeter's team. You always want that guy that can roll things over, batting .296 in the number 9 spot. And we'll focus on Kane Benj as well. 14 runs batted in this season.
Yeah, you got the 3 doubles, the extra base hits. Those are huge.
Defensive alignment now for the homestanding Tiger Cubs of Greencastle High School. Going around the outfield, it is Cook, Nicholson, and Lewis. Wilson, Cook, Fleming, and Rossick. From third to first, Ichiro Mizawa is the catcher, and Trey Scanlon on the hill today for Greencastle. This is his 11th appearance of the season. It is just his 3rd as a starting pitcher. Scanlon, a 3-2 record on the year, a 5.16 ERA, 19 innings pitched, 14 earned runs allowed. He has walked 9, he has struck out 21, and as is often the case, you got to get late in the week. You get late in the year, you know you have some more games to play this weekend. The goal, I'm sure, for Scanlon is simply to eat as many innings as possible for the folks here at Greencastle today.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously you want to win. This is a championship game, and they're confident in Scanlon, but I think you're exactly right there, Rake. They want to have him come in and just chew up as many innings as he can, get a good quality start in today here for the Tiger Cubs.
Scanlon, just a sophomore. He mentioned the fact that it's a very young North Putnam squad. 5 seniors on the roster for Greensburg, just 1 for North Putnam. So Bobby Shaley will lead things off, .322 batter on the year. 13 runs batted in, 16 runs scored this season.
Now, Shaley's one of those players here for North Putnam that really sets the tone. That's why they like having him in this leadoff spot.
First pitch in there for a strike, and we're underway here in the Putnam County Baseball Championship game.
That's what you like to see. First pitch, strike, come out, get on top of the hitter right away.
Dimensions here symmetrical, 320 down the line, 360 to the gaps, and 370 to straightaway center. Curveball, that's in. Strike two. Do have a bit of a breeze today, but it's kind of blowing across the field from left to right. Strike three called.
Wow, just like that, comes out 1, 2, 3, and sets him down. That's a great start to the game right there.
Shaley did more in handing the bat to the man on deck than he did in the batter's box with said bat.
You know, North Putnam got here a little bit late, didn't even take their infield here in front of the crowd today. You got to wonder if maybe there's just some nerves or jitters that they haven't gotten to work out just yet.
McPherson, an excuse me swing that checks it foul, counted 0-1. McPherson batting 185 this season with 9 runs batted in. He is a junior. And a bit cool, but all in all, you'll take this for a high school baseball day in the spring. Curveball laced down the left field line. That'll get down for a base hit. Could be two. McPherson rounds first, halfway to second. Throw comes in. Could be a play. He slides it in time.
Wow, look at the wheels. That right there is a difference today in a championship game, and he's saying, feed me. He rips one down the line, what you think is going to be a single. He legs it out, gets the double, and puts himself in scoring position. Beautiful hit.
So Jacob Berry, the catcher, bats .250, has driven in 9 runs this year.
That's what's going to be important today, especially in these situations, right, where you got a runner in scoring position now. You want to definitely make sure you put the bat on the ball. You want to advance that runner around.
Scanlon's finding a lot of the plate here early, which can be mostly a good thing. Sometimes you find too much of the plate. The hitters can get a rhythm off you, but that's in there for a strike. Second baseman holding the runner on. This one off the hands and foul, counted 0-2. These two teams played back in early April. Greencastle won them both, 6-4 and 9-6.
That's a hard thing to do is beat a team twice in the season, then let alone 3 times where they're facing them here again today.
And a high fastball. That was one of the few times that Scanlon was out of the zone and Barry went chasing. That's an important second out.
It really is. And again, you get that runner out on second base, you get him in the scoring position. A strikeout is the worst thing that you can have in that situation. But luckily for North Putnam, they got Jack Kendall coming to the plate. He's been their power hitter this year with 3 home runs on the season. Getting the sophomore, you talked about the youthful exuberance.
Could be a tough play off the hands. Shortstop charges and makes it look rather easy. 6-3 the putout, and North Putnam does nothing with the 1-out double. We're through 1/2 inning here in the Putnam County Baseball Championship game. North Putt nothing. Greencastle coming to bat as you're watching high school baseball on Endeavor Communications.
Endeavor eTex provides outstanding IT and computer-related services for your home or business. Whether you need a simple home PC tune-up or a large-scale network installation for your business or your municipality, Endeavor eTex is your final destination for all of your IT needs. Maintenance agreements are available and services open to members and non-members alike. Call 1-877-524-9109 or go to our website at weendeavor.com for more details.
North Putt getting ready to play the field for the first time in this county baseball championship game. Let's show you the batting lineup that the Tiger Cubs will bring to the plate today. Noah Cook lead things off, batting .320. As we talked about, Nicholson and Scanlon have over half the RBI this year for the Tiger Cubs. Rossick batting 5th, and Ichiro Mizawa, the catcher, batting 7th. Not a team with much in the power department. Nicholson has the only home run that Greencastle has hit so far this year. The defensive alignment for the Cougars, going from Left field to right, McPherson, Payton, and Huffman. Jeter, Rudes, Benj, and Kendall. Barry the catcher, and Bobby Shaley is the pitcher. Shaley 2-1 on the season. Very solid ERA of 2.33. 27 innings pitched for Shaley. He has given up 9 earned runs. He has walked 10, and he has struck out 27. Didn't mention the fact that regular season winds down this weekend. For Greencastle, they will play at soon-to-be conference opponent Northview tomorrow. They're playing in the Danville sectional, and they will play Indian Creek in the sectional opener on Wednesday. North Putnam hosts a 7-team sectional in 2A baseball. They will play host to Cascade next Wednesday, with the winner then to get South Putnam.
Cascade, really a pretty good season so far. They 6-2 in the conference. They're a tough out for anybody.
So Noah Cook, the shortstop, to lead things off. Cook has scored 26 runs this year, done exactly what you want your leadoff man to do. That is in 20 games played for Greencastle.
I like the fact that he's got the 5 doubles, too, which is tied for the team lead. That's your leadoff hitter immediately putting himself in scoring position.
Third baseman, first baseman, both prepared for Cook to potentially lay one down here. They're playing at the bag, if not in front of it, on the corners. Outfield playing slightly to pull here for the shortstop. Last 3 games for Greencastle against Cloverdale before playing today's game. Off-speed pitch popped up. Shortstop barely has to move. Rudes is there, and the freshman makes the grab. There's one down. And Greencastle dispatched of Cloverdale very easily in the semifinals of the tournament on Saturday. Then had their regularly scheduled conference games against Cloverdale on Monday and Tuesday. Those 3 straight wins have leveled the Tiger Cubs record at 10-10 on the year. Here's Caleb Fleming.
You talk about the 3 straight wins. That's a great confidence booster, too, especially if you can come in today, get a win, and take this championship. You'd be riding a nice little winning streak heading into postseason play.
Fleming, a .255 batter on the year. He's scored 16 runs in both pitchers. Love to see this. Throwing strikes here early, counted 0-2.
That's something both pitchers have done so far to start the game, is stayed out in front of hitters and really challenged them.
And a swing and a miss. First strikeout recorded, and there's 2 away.
Something you love to see, and you come in and just kind of mow down the hitters and be dominant on the mound.
So Nicholson, the center fielder, .443 batting average, by far the best on either of these 2 teams. Home run, 15 runs batted in, 29 runs scored. Outside corner, strike 1.
Comes out firing right away, and this is the part of the lineup, that 3-4 hitters here for Greencastle that you really got to stay on top of and challenge them the best you can.
Popped up. First baseman wearing the shade. Second baseman comes over. Second baseman makes the play, and pretty good-looking bottom half of the first for Bobby Shaley. 3 up, 3 down, and we are scoreless after 1. It's the Putnam County Baseball Championship game. You're watching IHSA Baseball on Endeavor Communications.
No way. Hi. Hi. Shine, come on and let it shine. Light me up, make me feel alive. Hi.
She actually said hi to you.
Shine on me today.
Scanlon on for his second inning of work. Scoreless here at Greencastle High School. Bit of a chilly day, but again, good mix of sun and clouds. Thanks to our friends at McAllister Rentals. Our broadcast would not be possible without them. They've got the lifts that are both behind home plate and in center field to make this broadcast as top-notch as it is, despite what Sean and I do from an announcer booth. Stop by and see the location in Terre Haute, or go online to the website on your screen for more information. Hope those folks paid for those good seats down the line.
Absolutely.
5, 6, and 7 coming up here for North Putt. So Kane Benj, a .365 batter with 14 RBI and 14 runs scored this season. This North Putt team coming in at 8 and 12. They have been off since Saturday. They've had a little time to rest up and get ready for this one. They easily dispatched of South Putt 15-4 in the semifinal on Saturday. Outside corner fastball, strike one called.
In both those games, tight early on for the first couple innings, and then you got that big inning of explosion where a lot of runs were scored. Doing all that through the rain.
1-1 the count.
I think the field looks fantastic today, too. I mean, it took a lot of rain over the weekend. You know, you're right back here again just a handful of days later, and it looks beautiful.
Slow overhand curveball misses. 2-1 the count. And these two schools, part of the soon-to-be defunct West Central Conference. They will move to the Western Indiana Conference next year. Fouled back 2-2. That includes schools like West Vigo, Northview, Edgewood, Brown County. South Vermilion part of that league as well. West Central losing Speedway and Monrovia over the last few years as they have moved more towards playing Indianapolis area schools on a regular basis. Ground ball shortstop. Tough hop, ends up being a candy hop. He fires over, and first baseman and Rossick picks that one clean. 6-3 the put out, and there's one down.
Yeah, nice reflexes that time out of short by Noah Cook as it caught the lip of the grass there, but it bounced right up to him. Able to make a strong throw across the diamond and get the out.
As you can tell by the dirt, we had a lot of rain on Saturday, but it's not been a spring with a lot of rain, so things are starting to harden up and firm up in that infield. Kyler Jeter, the last name of Jeter, obligated to wear the number 2 as a baseball player.
Pretty much.
Third baseman, not the shortstop. Kyler, a .308 batter. 10 runs batted in, 14 runs scored this season. One and one, or 2-0 the count, excuse me.
You know, Kyler, one of those players that he likes to see a lot of pitches. I mean, when you look at his stats, he's got 13 strikeouts on the season, but he's also got 12 walks to go along with it. So he's going to make sure that the pitcher's throwing strikes as he's going to get up there and try to see a lot of pitches and get one that he likes.
First time we've really seen either pitcher get behind in the count in the early stages of this game. Count up 3-0. See the fans making their way down the first base line today. Sun located behind us. Looking out to the northeast here from behind home plate. Bat was never leaving the shoulder on that one from Jeter. That's over for a strike. Count at 3-1.
Yeah, good pitch from Scanlon. You got to come back and do it again right here.
Little liner right center field. That'll get down for a base hit. Right fielder over quickly in Lewis. Good for the second inning in a row. A one-out base hit for North Putnam. 1 on, 1 out.
That's the hard thing about being in a 3-1 count because the batter knows you're coming with a fastball. You know, pretty much everybody does at that point in time, and you want to hit the strike zone, but you can't hit that much of the plate.
So Cole Payton, the lone senior on the North Putt roster at the plate. He'll make my buddy Jim Darby, the national rep for Easton, happy swinging the bat that he is up there. Sliced foul, 1-1 the count.
I'm starting to think that there's not anybody that you don't know.
I'm getting old, Sean. I know almost everybody at this point. Take a look at those batting gloves. If we run short on light this evening, he's got us covered. The radioactive glow those things give off.
That pitch there, not necessarily where Ozawa wanted it, but hit the strike zone regardless.
Count of 1-2. Third baseman in on the grass just in case Peyton thinks about putting down a bunt for a base hit. Trey Strazikar, the DH, is up next. Peyton batting .213 this season, 5 runs batted in, 10 runs scored. Went reaching for that one. Count remains 1-2.
Good job just getting a piece of it that time. Stay alive in the at-bat.
And a swing and a miss. Couldn't time out the off-speed pitch, 2 down.
That was a beautiful pitch. That time comes right back. Able to strike him out there, get the second out for your team. So both times that they've got a runner on base, Scanlon's been able to come right back and get the strikeout.
Strazikar batting .211 this year with an RBI and a double. He is a junior. 4 freshmen on the roster for this game for North Putt. That one gets away from the catcher. That'll be an extra 90 feet given to Jeter on a wild pitch.
Those can come back to haunt you a little bit, especially now that you've got that runner in scoring position. You do have the 2 outs, but a base hit here to the gap could definitely score the runner.
That's in for a strike. That's a beauty. 1-1 the count.
Good pitch from Scanlon. I don't know what's better, the pitch there or his hair. He's got a great hairdo flowing out of the back of the hat.
Second verse, same as the first. That one a little bit more towards the middle of the dish, but strike nonetheless. Count at 1-2. Looking around at the great facilities they have here at Greencastle High School. Nestled between the football stadium, softball field directly behind us. You see the gymnasium and natatorium out in right field. Slow roller, that will stay foul. This baseball field's kind of old school now. They actually have the dirt base pass. You see so many high schools that have the dirt around home plate and don't start the dirt again until you get to first base. Of course, amazingly, you're starting to also get some high school facilities that have turf for baseball at this juncture.
A lot easier to maintain.
And a stay alive swing that sends this one above the North Putt fans down the right field line. Count remains at 1-2. Little liner, second baseman's there, and the inning is over. So for the second time in as many innings, a runner stranded in scoring position by North Putnam. We remain scoreless as we go to the bottom half of the second. It's the Putnam County Baseball Championship game on Endeavor Communications.
I didn't know you guys were watching last night. Thank you guys.
What are you talking about, stuff?
I had that 27-10 last night, and today, chicken curry.
I don't think
Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Who was that guy? I don't know.
ESPN, serving sports fans everywhere.
Shaley on for his second inning of work. Happy to bring this championship game to you here on Endeavor Communications. 800-922-6677. WeEndeavor.com for all of your telecommunications and technology needs. Middle of the lineup coming up here for Greencastle. Scanlon, Rossick, and Riley Cook. Scanlon leads the team in runs driven in with 24. As Sean noted last inning, leads the team in hair. Also has 5 doubles this year.
I tell you, it's a big chance right here to go out and help your own cause. Get yourself on base, work your way around.
To that classic old Minnesota Twins logo on the helmet. The TC, which here stands for Tiger Cubs, and Minnesota stood for Twin Cities. First pitch misses, 1-0 the count.
Can't say classic Minnesota Twins without thinking of Kirby Puckett. Just a phenomenal baseball player.
You don't think of Butch Weiniger first when you think of the Minnesota Twins?
Nope, I go straight to Kirby Puckett.
Fair enough. That's in for a strike. Of course, Central Indiana product Kyle Gibson, currently a pitcher for the Minnesota Twins. He of Greenfield Central High School. Little liner, right field. Right fielder running in and makes the play. Nicely done by Huffman. We don't call Huffman's name much because he's on the batting lineup for North Putnam, but when his name was called there, he was ready, 1 down.
Yeah, and sometimes these are hard to catch, too, when they're slapped the other way and they tail away from you like that. Did a good job of getting over, getting in position to make that catch.
When you can see the reflection of the sun in his glasses, that's also a tough play. So here's Rossick, the first baseman, 254 batter. 6 runs batted in this year. High fastball swings on and misses. 0-1 the count.
We've seen that a few times from Shaley now where he's really challenging the hitters up. You know, as a hitter, it's tough to lay off those fastballs up there. They look like a beach ball coming at you.
That's tremendous pitch combination by Shaley. Throw the fastball at his eyes and then throw him the off-speed pitch that he goes and flails at. 0-2 the count. Comes back with the off-speed pitch. Rossick got a piece of that one. I mentioned the TC Twin Cities logos that the Tiger Cubs have in the helmets. I look around and see the derivative of the Green Bay G on a lot of the other facilities here. Little nubber. Takes a couple of easy hops for the first baseman. Kendall will just casually step on the bag, and there's 2 down.
So far, Shaley's doing a great job of keeping the hitters off balance and, like you said, mixing it up. Look at that swing there. There's obviously nothing you're going to do with that. You're just trying to slap at it. He's keeping the hitters off balance for sure.
Here's Cook, the left fielder, batting $196 this year. 5 runs batted in. That grazes the outside corner. Strike 1 called. Cook, one of the 5 seniors on this team. Misses inside, 1-1 the count.
And with all the appearances that Shaley's had over the season, he's got the 27 innings pitched, only 10 walks on the season. He does a really good job of throwing strikes.
This one smacked, foul. Rolls over top of that one, 1-2 the count.
That was really close to being a well-placed hit that time.
Shaley's done a good job of staying in front of the hitters here. This is the 6th batter he's faced.
And it seems like it's constantly been, you know, a 1-2 or 0-2 count. Don't foul back towards the truck.
Time for a couple of fresh baseballs coming in from the dugout.
It's a good at bat from Cook, though. I mean, it, you know, falls behind in the count. He's fouled the last 2 pitches off, just trying to stay alive.
That one almost slips out of the hands of Shaley on the off-speed pitch, 2-2. Mentioned the fact that Greencastle travels to Northview for their season finale tomorrow. So just 1 game left after today.
You know, we talked after that first inning where Shaley came out. I think he threw about 7 pitches and got out of the inning. Having to work a little bit more in this one, even though he's still throwing strikes. The hitters are definitely challenging him more as you get the hit here from Cook.
That one off the end of the bat, and right fielder can't get there in time, so first base runner and first base hit for the Tiger Cubs.
There you go, first hit given up, and it's a great at-bat by Cook that gets it done. Able to work the count, foul a few pitches off, and finally got one he liked.
Ichiro Mizawa now comes to the plate. 286 batter. 4 runs batted in for Ichiro this season. He too a senior.
It talks so much about pitch count. You want to wear the opposing pitcher down, make him throw a lot of pitches. Much like, the boxing strategy of Roy Jones Jr. back in the day, where he would hit the opposing boxer in the arms so that by the, the fourth or fifth round, he couldn't hardly raise him up to protect himself anymore. And then Roy would do his damage. You want to wear down your opponent.
That misses. 2-0. Daniel Wilson, the third baseman, awaits on deck if Mazawa can keep the inning going. Foul tip back in the mid, 2-1 the count.
Yeah, good cut that time. Really taking a strong swing at that one. Definitely an opportunity there with the 2-0 count. You get that fastball, take a good cut at it, see what you can do with it. With a name like Ichiro.
Grass cutter to second base, hustling down the line, but no trouble there for Benj. Over to Kendall, and the inning is over. Goose Eggs on the board through 2 innings of play here in the Putnam County Baseball Championship as you're watching on Endeavor Communications.
New from Endeavor Communications, a hometown telephone provider for over 60 years, Business Phone Solutions, making businesses accessible anytime, anywhere, on any device. Increase your office efficiencies while reducing costs with a reliable phone system that delivers superior voice clarity and convenient calling features. Endeavor Business Phone Solutions offers a low set monthly fee and a reliable nationwide IP network for businesses of any size. Call today for a free quote at 1-844-3-HOSTED.
To the top half of the third we go. I want to say a quick thank you to Greg Hill, the Director of Athletics here at Greencastle High School. Known him for many years when he was at the AD at Brownsburg before making his way a little bit further south and west. But he's been outstanding as far as helping us from a logistics standpoint, informational standpoint. And a big thanks to both coaches as well for sharing a lot of information and knowledge about their teams to make us as broadcast prepared as possible for today's game.
Sure. Yeah, Mr. Hill obviously did a great job of just allowing us to come out here and meet with them and put some lifts out here around the field, and even on Saturday, with the rain, kind of help navigating on where we should park and things of that nature, so we don't do any damage to the facilities.
Hayden Rudes, the shortstop, 9-1-2, going to get things rolling here for Brian Jeter's team. Hayden, 296 on the season, a home run, 7 runs batted in, 13 runs scored.
You talked about his batting average, 296, hitting here in the 9 spot. That's definitely somebody, if you can get him on base, get a base hit here and then roll it back around to the top part of the lineup again. It's always a huge benefit to have, and you got somebody you can kind of plug into that 8-9 spot.
High and tight, 1-0 the count.
Good eye that time, not chasing that high pitch. Those are tough to lay off of. They really are.
Now 2-0. It's the North Putnam team that began their season with a 21-2 win over Eminence. They also own a 20-10 win this year. But were beaten 22-1 in the very next game. That's in for a strike.
I think that's what both teams are kind of looking for, just trying to find that consistency, and baseball is one of those funny games where you could literally go out and score 15 runs one day and everybody hits, and you come out the next night and you get one hit and put up a goose egg. And it's a head scratcher sometimes. For me, that's what made the game so fun to play. It was so challenging. It was such a mental aspect of it sometimes. Sometimes you're your own worst enemy as a hitter. You just get in a slump. And
count runs full at 3-2. I think this might be the first full count we have seen in today's game. And again, Scanlon, a guy that normally has pitched just a couple of innings at a time, so even though we're already in the third and he's worked relatively quickly, you worry about him wearing down just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Shaley, the pitcher, due up next. Off the mound, tough one. Scanlon hustles, tosses, gets him.
What a play.
That's a first out the hard way by Scanlon. Now we can worry and make sure he is all right. And the scorebook will go down to 1-3, but it doesn't show how hard of a hit he took there off of one hop.
Yeah, that thing hit just right there at the lip of the grass in a pitcher's mound. And luckily for Scanlon, it looked like it went off the chest or shoulder area and didn't get up there into the face.
You must know he's a pretty tough kid. There was no look at the dugout, no look from the trainer.
No.
Never even made a motion saying, I'm fine. Let's just keep going.
I like it how he immediately responded to him, went right after it, and made the out.
Came back with a wicked curveball to the fellow pitcher in Shaley. They had Shaley bailing out of the box. Misses 1-0 the count. Shaley looked at 3 straight strikes his first trip to the plate and now has the count in his favor at 2-0.
I think I'm starting to notice with Scanlon, it looks like he's trying to overthrow just a little bit. Like he's trying to put a little extra oomph behind it, and it's causing him to get a little wild with his pitches here.
You can see it there, too. Count now 3-0. Mentioned the fact that Greencastle plays tomorrow in a non-conference game to close out the regular season. North Putt will play a doubleheader on Saturday. They play host to Fountain Central. It's in for a strike.
Good pitch there, and if you go back, if you could put those 2 last pitches side by side, you'd see he's a lot more relaxed in the last one that he threw for a strike. And sometimes, it's that mental aspect, knowing the batter's not going to swing here. It's a 3-0 count.
Hopped up, right field. Drifting over, into foul territory, couldn't get there in time. Wind kind of helped push that one into foul ground. We'll do it again at 3-2.
So back-to-back hitters now have gotten into that full count against Scanlon. He came right back and threw a strike on the last one, obviously, and got the out.
Each of these 2 teams begin postseason play next week, and you and I both played high school baseball a century ago at this point. Were you part of a group that always opened up the sectional on Memorial Day? That just misses. First walk issued by either pitcher today.
I don't remember playing on Memorial Day, no.
Because that was a tradition where I was from. That was always the opening day of the sectional. You played on Memorial Day every year. And you see some that still do, but a lot of them don't do that anymore. That's the case with each of these 2. So McPherson, who doubled down the left field line in his previous plate appearance.
You know, now you got your leadoff hitter down there on first base in Shaley. You know, you wonder, do you try to challenge Mozawa with a steal here?
McPherson trying for more than a double on that one, 0-1.
Especially with the way McPherson swung the bat in that first at bat, you know. Sometimes you can look into a young man's eyes and knows it's going to be his day, and he looks pretty determined today that he's going to have a successful day at the plate.
0-2. That double for McPherson was his first extra base hit of the season. Came in batting less than 200 on the year. But does have 9 runs batted into his credit. This pattern continues for North Putt. They have gotten the second man aboard in all 3 innings. This one up and out of play.
Right beside me.
They've stranded the runner at second base in each of the previous 2 innings as well.
Now McPherson being behind like he is, he's going to have to choke up a little bit. He's got 15 strikeouts on the season coming into the game. So he's definitely fallen victim to it quite a few times, but you want to shorten that swing up now and definitely try to put it in play somewhere.
And a swing and a miss. They will throw on to first to complete the out. With that, the runner advances to second.
So honestly, that's as good as pushing one towards the right side and advancing the runner.
Here comes Jacob Berry. He too a strikeout victim his last time up. That is the 4th strikeout at 11 batters faced for Scanlon. He came in with 21 strikeouts and 19 innings pitched, so he's kind of keeping up with that pace here through 2 2/3.
This is a big out here for Scanlon. You want to make sure that you get Barry here and don't have to face Kendall.
Mrs. Lowe 1-0 the count.
The young man standing in the on-deck circle with 18 RBIs on the season, and you got a runner out there in scoring position. I don't think you want to face him in this inning.
At the knees, strike call.
Yeah, good pitch. At the knees, and then looked like it painted that outside corner that time as well.
Two and one. And Scanlon having to labor a little bit more than his counterpart Shaley has had to do so today.
I've definitely thrown quite a few pitches in this inning, this part of the inning.
Outfield playing pretty much straight away here for the number 3 hitter. A .250 batter on the year. High and in tight, 3 and 1. No take sign going to be given here to the number 3 hitter. He'll have a chance to, if he sees one he likes, take a pretty good rip at it.
A big pitch here for Scanlon. You can't hit too much of the plate on this pitch, but you got to throw a strike.
And he does not. Runners now at first and second. 2 walks in this inning. First 2 of the game. And first time that a team has had multiple base runners on board. And they do so with Jackson Kendall coming to the plate, the primary power provider for North Putnam. 3 home runs, 18 runs batted in. That's through 20 games this year.
He's also very patient. I mean, 15 walks. That leads all starters today. So he makes pitchers work.
Pitcher's pitch right there, outside corner at the knees, strike called.
You know, so many times with power hitters or people that have power like Kendall and can put the ball over the fence, you go up there swinging. You know, a lot of times just trying to put the bat on the ball. But with those 15 walks, that shows me he's got some patience.
Second verse, same as the first, hit the exact same corner. I'm not sure Kendall was happy with that. He hasn't seen every at-bat the way we have, but it has been a liberal strike zone, I'll give you that, but a consistent strike zone. And
sure,
I would much rather see that at this level where guys are up there knowing they need to swing the bat. You're not taxing pitchers as much that way. You're reducing pitch counts by doing it that way. So it's been a pretty good game called by our home plate umpires so far. Nothing doing there. Count at 1 and 2.
That's a good 0-2 pitch, though. Come up a little high, see if you can get him to chase one. You know, you got another pitch here. I don't want to say that you can waste, but with it being 1-2, you're still well ahead in the count. Maybe come back with something off speed, see if you can get him to chase it. There it is.
Curveball just misses a bit high.
Well, I tell you, it looked like a pretty good pitch. You know, you don't get the strike call, but that's a great placement on that. Didn't hang it. Put it in a position where you kind of challenge the hitter to make a decision. And Kendall's fortunate he didn't get rung up on that one.
Count even up now at 2 and 2. Now the count has run full. And again, we don't have a pitch count here, but he has run up a lot of pitches here in this third inning.
Yeah, this is his third batter getting into the full count at least in this inning. So you are exactly right. Having to work.
Benj, the second baseman, due up next if Kendall can keep the inning going. Kendall had stepped out. Just because you step out doesn't mean you get time. And Kendall asking for it, saying, hey, I was asking for time, and the home plate umpire is obligated to give it to him. And that's the end of the top half of the third. So North Putnam sees their best scoring opportunity go by the wayside. Right down the middle for strike number 3. Scoreless to the home half of the third we go on Endeavor Communications.
Hey, check it out.
When it gets cold, feels like the end. There's no place to go, you know I won't give in. No, I won't give in.
Welcome back to Greencastle, county seat here of Putnam County, not to mention the home of DePauw University. Had a chance to drive over and see some of the gorgeous campus before heading over here towards the high school today.
Had a chance to see it or got lost and kind of detoured by it?
It's all about your perspective on life, Sean. I like to think of it as the scenic route.
It was meant to be because your GPS led you there.
Not that going from the west side to the east side of Greencastle is that long or laborious of a trip. Didn't take that long a time. 8-9-1 coming up here for the Tiger Cubs. Much like Franklin, the Grizzlies for the college, the Grizzly Cubs for the high school nickname. Wilson, Lewis, and Noah Cook coming through here for Greencastle.
Yeah, Shaley, he's pitched to Jim so far, only giving up the one hit. I mean, other than that, he would have faced, the amount of hitters so far. I mean, this is the first time that our 8 hitters coming up, and we're in the 3rd inning. On the other side, some of these players have already had multiple at-bats. Shaley's done a good job of throwing strikes, challenging hitters.
Daniel Wilson on the season, batting .226. 2 runs batted in, 2 doubles. 8 runs scored in 15 games played. He was kind of the last addition to the lineup today for Coach Remsburg. He gave us about 3 different options as far as who might be pitching in today's game. Scanlon ended up getting the nod. Tiger Cubs will end up playing 5 games in the last 7 days of the season.
That can definitely be taxing on your starting pitchers for sure. Can get you into a good rhythm as a team, but at the same time, you got to have a plan. You got to be able to manage through that.
That's in for a strike. Count it 2-2. Just low.
This is one of the first times we've seen Shaley go full count against the batter today.
And getting the email from Coach Remsburg last week, 4 different names were listed as potential pitchers for his team. This one a sky-high pop-up. Second baseman over to make the play. Shaley has now retired 7 of the 8 batters he's faced, and there's 1 down. That is the 3rd infield pop-up he's had so far, Sean.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to talk about. He's not doing it, standing on the mound striking everybody out. He's getting a lot of pop flies and manageable ground balls.
This is Levi Lewis, one of the 5 seniors on the roster for the Tiger Cubs. 205 batter this year for the right fielder. 3 runs batted in, 9 runs scored. First pitch fastball in for a strike. The sunshine you're accustomed to seeing in mid to late May. The temperatures you're used to feeling in mid to late fall.
Yeah.
The way to describe today's weather. Expecting about a 15-degree jump in temperatures, though, for tomorrow. Hopper helps Kendall. Pitcher over. Shaley wins the foot race. And there's 2 down.
A nice job that time. That was textbook. Able to stay in front of it, get the flip as the pitcher comes over to cover. Something you work on every single day in practice, and you're right. That hop does help.
Hop really took some pace off the ball. If that ball doesn't have that level of hop, that's probably into right field for a base hit. So Noah Cook, who popped up to the shortstop in Rudes in his first plate appearance. Cook batting .312 this year. Strike 1 called.
And Shaley comes right out, staying in front of hitters. Doing a good job of throwing strikes. So that's what you're seeing, not a lot of strikeouts, but a Greencastle players are putting the ball in play. That one hit right at the second baseman.
Little liner, and that is the end of the inning. He's faced 10. He's retired 9. Shaley doing some awfully good work for North Putt as we speak. To the top of the fourth we go. Still scoreless in the Putnam County Baseball Championship game. Today's game on Endeavor Communications, and it's brought to you by Endeavor eTech IT Services. They can help with all your computer and technology needs, available to Endeavor members and the general public. eTech offers everything from simple home printer setup, PC diagnostics, or malware removal, to large-scale network development, network security, data backup storage, and disaster recovery for businesses and municipalities. WeEndeavor.com for more information. Benj, Jeter, and Peyton, 5, 6, and 7 coming up here. 4 runners stranded through the first 3 innings for North Putt. Benj, a ground ball to shortstop in his previous plate appearance.
You know, it's a scoreless game right now, so obviously it's anybody's game. But if you were just looking and you weren't really paying attention to the scoreboard, you would think North Putnam had the advantage right now. They haven't played since the weekend. They look well rested today. Coming up with a few hits.
Got the Greencastle young men that for the most part all wearing the high school helmets. Notice most of the kids from North Putt wearing their travel ball helmets today. Custom fitted ones. I believe that's the logo of the Indiana Nitro that Benj is wearing on his helmet. Swing and a miss there. Count it 2-1. We see that during the Colt World Series every year. See a lot of Indiana Bulls representation during that tournament. Indiana prospects usually included in that too. That one misses, didn't break in time, 3-1 the count. Both runners that reached last inning for North Putnam got on by bases on balls. Scanlon continues to rack up the pitch count as he goes full to yet another batter, 3-2.
Yeah, this is a great at-bat for Benj. I mean, really just standing in, taking some cuts and fouling off, staying alive. Scanlon's still doing a good job of throwing strikes. He's just having to throw quite a few more balls along with him, you know, to get there. But
and that one nowhere close. For the first time today, the leadoff man is aboard now for North Putnam.
And that's what you worry about. Usually that leadoff batter is the one that always comes back to bite you when they are able to get on base. It's a third walk today, but it's the third walk in the last 2 innings. So you got to wonder if he's starting to wear down just a little bit.
Jeter, a single in his previous plate appearance. Puts the bunt down. That's a good one. Third baseman charges, scoops, fires, tough throw. Rossick for the second time picked it out of the dirt. But the sacrifice is successful, 5-3, and there's one down.
Well, that's a beautiful dig over at first base. You look at this bunt, and it really has a chance. And a nice job by the third baseman to make a good, strong throw over. And Wilson, a one-hopper action. A nice dig.
So Peyton, who struck out in his previous plate appearance. One of 4 strikeouts so far for Scanlon. That's a strike. Just couldn't pull the trigger on the late breaking curveball, but a strike nonetheless. That curveball hits the outside corner. Strike two.
Back-to-back pitches that are in great locations.
And a swing and a miss. So at least a strikeout in every inning for Scanlon. And there's now two down. That's a big put out right there.
It is. It really is, because now that runner out at second isn't as threatening when you got him standing out there with one out.
And I had shortchanged Scanlon. That is his 6th strikeout of the game. Off the hands. Wilson charges, has time, fires over to first. And as quickly as the threat developed, it goes away. 4 times to the plate, 5 runners stranded, and nobody has come across to score to home plate. 0-0. To the bottom of the 4th we go here on Endeavor Communications. Zeros on the board. Greencastle will send their 2, 3, and 4 lineup to the plate. Fleming, a strikeout victim his last time up. Only one that Shaley has recorded.
Fleming with 20 strikeouts now on the season. If you're a coach, you'd like to see him cut that down a little bit, become more of a productive hitter. Not a terrible average there at 255. He's got 14 hits on the season.
Trying to bunt his way on for a base hit. Got it past the pitcher. Second baseman charges, but not in time.
And there you go. Those are some of the things right there that are just big and timely. And again, now you've got a leadoff runner on yourself.
Once that ball got past the pitcher, that was it. Second baseman was not going to get there in time to make a play. Leadoff man aboard for the first time today for Greencastle. And as we talked about earlier, almost all the run production for this team this year have come from spots 3 and 4. And Nicholson is the number 3 batter. Even he squares the bunt.
I'll tell you, Nicholson's got some speed, so it may be one of those situations. If he can put it down in the right spot, you can end up with both guys safe.
I'm not sure I'm believing the 443 batter is going to bunt, though, here. But perhaps you got a good run producer in Scanlon right behind you. He's batting .343 on the year.
With what ball?
Nicholson, 29 runs scored this year.
Gotcha.
He has clearly found ways to get on and then get over in the 10 wins for the Tiger Cubs this season.
Fleming doing a good job of keeping the attention of Shaley over there, too, getting a nice lead at first base.
That one misses high. 2-0 the count. This is Shaley's 8th appearance of the year, so he has, on average, worked a good amount of innings every time he's been on the mound, and he has thrown far fewer pitches than Scanlon has at this point in the game. But suddenly having trouble finding the zone, and the count now goes to 3-0.
This is only the second time he's had to work out of the stretch like that, too, with a runner on base, and sometimes that messes with you. You're getting a rhythm going through your windup every time.
And that's high. 4-pitch walk. First walk issued today, and really has been very little to chirp about from the Greencastle standpoint, and suddenly they've got runners on first and second with nobody out.
Yeah, this is an opportunity you've got to take advantage of. You got one of your best hitters coming up in the 4th spot in Scanlon. He's also pitching today. He's got a chance to help out his own cause right here.
Scanlon, a ball off the end of the bat that was snagged by the right fielder in Huffman his previous plate appearance. He shows bunt. That's in for a strike. Scanlon, 24 runs batted in this season. The three batters after him have combined for 15 runs batted in this season. Scanlon times this one out. That's a base hit to left field. Left fielder throw comes to third. He'll look home, won't make a play. And Greencastle on the board in this Putnam County Baseball Championship game. They lead 1-0.
What a huge hit that time. He just absolutely rips this ball into left field. And Fleming already with a nice lead out there at second base. It was pretty easy for him to come around and score. And he just redo it here. You got runners on first and second, still no outs, and now you got the lead.
For Scanlon, his 25th run batted in this, their 21st game of the season. And Rosick looking for more. Reaches for this one. Shortstop Rudes drifting out. Left fielder coming in. Left fielder calls him off. Good job by the freshman to listening it out of the way, and that's a big put out for North Putt.
It is. It really is. You can't ill afford to have this one. And sometimes these are those situations where you got three guys all in one area, the ball drops. And left fielder calls him off, makes a great play.
So here's Riley Cook. He had a base hit in his previous plate appearance. Sent that one into right field. Puts this bunt down. That's going to be a tough play. Shaley charges, fires to first. Got him. That was an absolutely perfect bunt by Cook, and it's a better play by Shaley.
It really was, and you got to commend the pitcher for coming off the mound like that and fielding his position. Makes it good, just picks it up bare hand like you're taught to do and fires across and got him by a step.
So Ichiro Mizawa, the catcher. He too a senior. Pivotal moment in this game right here. Misses 1-0 the count. Ichiro's family is from Japan. Family works here nearby in Greencastle. We've been told the plan is this young man's going to go and study back in Japan next year. They and the family have lived here in the area for several years. Count at 1-1.
You got to love it, though, with the first name of Ichiro and playing baseball. I mean, it's just it's awesome. We got Ichiro, we got Jeter on the field today.
Strike two call.
Mizawa, he's got a huge opportunity here to drive in a couple RBIs. If he can come up with a well-placed hit, could really open it up a little bit here for Greencastle.
First baseman's there. Kendall's got it, steps on the bag, and the inning is over. The good news for Greencastle, they're on the board. The good news for North Putt, it could have been a whole lot worse. They leave runners at second and third to the Tiger Cubs, but they lead 1-0 after 4. You're watching the Putnam County Baseball Championship game on Endeavor Communications.
Watch TV Everywhere is a value-added entertainment option which gives Endeavor television subscribers the ability to watch TV programs on their PC, laptop, tablet, or smartphone. When you subscribe to an Endeavor TV package, you receive select TV programming that is available in that package free of charge. You can view Watch TV Everywhere program just about anywhere. All you need is an internet or Wi-Fi connection. Call 1-800-922-6677 or go to our website at weendeavor.com for more details about Watch TV Everywhere.
Top of the fifth we go. Scanlon staked to a lead for the first time today. He'll face 9-1-2 coming through here for North Putt. E-Shield Security bringing this portion of the game to you. Helps protect what you cherish most. Provides burglary and intrusion detection, fire, smoke, and carbon monoxide protection, flood detection, video monitoring, and home and energy management. You can also monitor your security system on the go with the Honeywell Total Connect remote services from your PC, tablet, or smartphone. Call 800-922-6677 for a free on-site security quote.
Yeah, it's amazing how a half inning can change things. You know, you look out at Scanlon and it looked like he's starting to tire and starting to accumulate quite a few pitches, but then you walk back out to go on the mound and you've got a 1-0 lead now. And so it's a huge opportunity for him. Obviously, he drove in that RBI. Now you put yourself in position to come out and get the win.
Rude's last time up, he hit the ball that ricocheted off the chest of Scanlon. He's able to knock down and flag and throw the ball over to first base. Rudes and Benj, both freshmen. Guys that play prominent roles on this team. Count 2-0. And with just one senior, this is a North Butt team that should be pretty good the next couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, you've got youth like this, freshmen, sophomores, getting as much playing time as they are. It's only going to benefit you down the road. You know, you've got those learning curves as things are going on, and you know, you get those youthful mistakes, but those are great teaching moments, especially here at the high school level.
Strike called. 3-1.
You see so many of those players that get early time, you know, when they're playing as freshmen and sophomores that go on to play college baseball because they've just gotten so much more experience out on the field. It's a great benefit.
Hard hit ground ball, base hit left field. We talked about in the open. He's a number 9 hitter, but is batting .296. Does a great job of turning the lineup over, and the leadoff man is on for a second straight inning.
Now Shaley gets a chance to come back and kind of redeem that last inning where he gave up the run. I'm with you. That was a well-placed hit there from Rudes.
Each team now with 3 base hits today. Shaley walked and struck out on his previous 2 plate appearance. Rude's able to dive back in without much of a problem.
You know, both of these teams put up 15 runs on Saturday in the rain and on the way to their victories, and you're seeing a little bit more of a small ball feel to today's game. Last inning with the bunts and moving runners over, you get another one here.
Scanlon fields, takes his time, but a wild throw to first. Runners now will be at second and third. First error of today's game could prove costly. He made the mistake of trying to throw that just kind of off his heel. Didn't really lean to the throw, and that ball just tailed on him.
Yeah, it's, you know, you get another look at it here, and he does. He tries to throw off that back foot without really and he had time to gather himself and take a step. And we talked about in the keys to victory, you know, not giving extra outs, and that's exactly what happened here because North Putnam was saying here, we're going to give you this out just to advance the runner. And instead they end up with no outs and now runners on second and third.
So a sacrifice and an error. And first time that there has been a runner at third base today for North Putt. Quick meeting on the mound, but there's been nobody loosening in the pen or anything like that, and certainly with a 0 on the board, they'll leave Scanlon in the game. Now the interesting thing is, all right, defensively, how do you play it? And that is that infield's going to be back in the middle, up at the corners. So in theory, a ground ball up the middle ties this game. Now the second baseman and shortstop are creeping in just a little bit here. McPherson a double back in the first and struck out in the third. Ground ball, third baseman had it played perfectly. Throw over to first, and there's one down.
I'll tell you what, that's a great job over at third base for Daniel Wilson. You know, that's typically where Trey Scanlon plays, who's pitching today. So Wilson, you know, kind of filling in for Scanlon since he's on the mound, and that's textbook.
Did a good job on the one glance to freeze the runner at third. Infield will remain somewhat in, kind of in at third and about halfway at the other 3 spots. Barry walked in the third, struck out in the first. Barry with 9 runs batted in this year. And that misses low and inside, 2-0 the count. Scanlon wants a different baseball if possible.
Yeah, the last two pitches have been well out of the zone. Well, a runner at third like that, obviously you want to make sure that you try to keep those pitches up a little bit. And Mozawa's got to do a good job of blocking them. You don't want to let a run come in here on a wild pitch.
Popped up. That will get out of play. 2-1 the count. That's probably a pitch that Barry thought he could have done some damage with.
A good cut at it, just fouled it off. He's going to see another one here. Obviously, Scanlon does not want to fall behind 3-1, even though first base is open. Again, Kendall, who has struggled at the plate today, but he's still that power hitter here for North Putnam. Young man that's hitting over 300 on the season.
Count at 2-2. Just enjoying our vantage point here, looking out, seeing the soccer field, the football field, softball, and this beautiful green grass you just see everywhere.
Yeah.
Here in this corner of the athletic complex. Up the middle, off the glove. Runners coming home. They'll throw home. Now off the glove of the catcher. Gets away. Nobody backing up the play. And all of a sudden, North Putt now with a 2-1 lead.
Wow, just mayhem everywhere there on that play. It was a great stop by Scanlon. And then again, he had time. The runner is a dead duck at home right here if the throw is on the money. And instead it tails, gets away from Mizawa. It allows another runner to come in. And then on the backside that you got players that aren't backing each other up. As the other players get sucked into play, the first baseman is actually running down the line with Barry. So Barry able to heads up play there to realize nobody's covering second base.
So second error of the inning against Greencastle. And just as quickly as they had taken a lead, they're now trailing for the first time today. So far this inning, 2 errors, a hit, a sacrifice, a ground ball out in the fielder's choice. And Jackson Kendall with a 2-0 count in his favor. For each of these two teams, they do play again either tomorrow or Saturday, but this is clearly the most important game left of their regular season. Chance to claim a county championship. That one sprayed foul down the right field line, 2-1 the count.
Yeah, Kendall just a little bit behind that one that time.
That never threatened the strike zone, 3-1. I think if you tell Coach Remsburg that Scanlon would make the 5th inning, he'd feel pretty good about that. Knowing he had thrown just 19 innings on the season coming in.
I'm kind of surprised, honestly, that we don't see anybody down on the bullpen warming up either. Where you've surrendered the lead here in this part of the inning, and obviously Scanlon struggling just a little bit from the mound.
These two teams played 6 weeks ago, played 2 very, very competitive games, but Greencastle won them both. This one laced to left field, and that'll fall for a base hit. They'll wave the runner around third. Shortstop turns, will not throw to home. It's a 3-run top half of the 5th for North Putnam.
That's a great hit there from Kendall. The left fielder got caught in between. He just stands still just long enough to where he's unable to make the play on this as he comes up and then kind of stops and gets caught in between. Wasn't sure whether to dive or just try to keep it in front of him. And I think he probably made the right decision. You do give up the run, but if you dive and miss and that gets away, Kendall could be standing on second or third.
It looks like Scanlon is going to last 4 1/3 innings. And we will have a lineup change coming here for Greencastle. So on the mound for the Tiger Cubs will be Brandon Workman.
I don't know, we we talked about Scanlon, and we made the comment about the hair and having the most of it. Workman's got a dew coming out of his hat as well.
Workman on the season. This is his 13th appearance. That leads the team. 10 of those have been in relief. Solid .285 ERA with a 2-3 record. Does have the lone save this team has this year. He has thrown 34 1/3 innings. That is second most of the team behind Nicholson. He's allowed 14 earned runs. He has walked 7. He has struck out 25. And opposing batters batting .276 on Workman so far this year. So the line on Scanlon, he goes 4 1/3 innings. 3 hits, 3 runs, none of them earned, 6 strikeouts, and he walked 3 batters. I'm a big proponent, though, if the errors are on the pitcher, which is how I have tracked both the errors this inning, I would charge those to the pitchers, but I don't exactly have the clout to change the rules of baseball.
I would be in complete agreement with you on that.
So here comes the other freshman that we have talked about for this North Putt lineup and bench. Walked last inning. Ground ball to shortstop in his previous at-bat.
I think right now you've got the cleanup hitter standing on first base. You wouldn't expect to have a ton of speed. I could be wrong. But what you'd like to see here is a ball down in the zone. Try to get a ground ball up the middle where you can turn 2 pretty quickly and get yourself out of this.
There's that ground ball, but it's inside the third base bag for a single. Because it's in front of him, Kendall will stop at second. But a hard-hit ground ball nonetheless. And the inning continues for North Putt. Jeter will become the 7th batter to come to the plate this inning, with just 1 put out recorded so far. When you looked up and down these teams' scores and schedule on the year, there had been very few 1-0, 2-1 types of games. Most of them have been much more high-scoring affairs. So you kind of just felt the law of averages tell what we're going to tell you.
Eventually, yeah.
That somebody's going to break loose at some point in time.
Going to open up the faucet.
Ground ball, that is foul.
I tell you, that wasn't foul by much.
Counted 0-2.
Back-to-back pitches that time, or back-to-back swings at the bat, going right down that third base line. I tell you, Scanlon, he can't seem to get out of the way of it today. When he was on the hill, they were coming at him, and now he's at third base. They're rocking and some shots down at him.
That one misses high. By the way, I believe it's Workman into pitch. Scanlon moves to third, and Wilson simply leaves the game. So that would be Workman batting in the number 8 spot, and his spot is due up first in the bottom of the inning. So we'll see if we did the math properly in a moment. The math adds up here for Greencastle for their second out of the inning as Jeter is struck out for the first time today, 2 away.
Yeah, good job from Workman bouncing back after giving up that first hit. Comes back and gets a strikeout against Jeter.
So here's the senior in Peyton. He has struck out twice today. Count 2-0. Peyton batting .213 this year. 5 runs batted in. Workman charges, fields, fires, and gets him by a step. North Putnam strands 2, but more importantly, they score 3. And in this Putnam County Championship game, the Cougars have taken a 2-run lead. Greencastle comes to bat when we come back as you're watching high school baseball on Endeavor Communications.
Cafeteria food is pretty good. Oh, shoot. What do you think we should do here?
Well, it's too dense to go through it. We might be able to go around that right side.
do you think about the gap over here?
Yeah, I could see that as a possibility. Hey, guys.
Hey, Kevin.
Excuse me. Sorry.
That took guts.
Yeah.
Welcome back here on Endeavor Communications. Greg Rakestraw, Sean Walker with you. High school baseball season winding down. Postseason play for some begins on Monday, for many others Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday of next week. High school baseball state finals June 19th and 20th at Victory Field. So Workman to the plate. Just entered the game a couple of batters ago. And Workman this year, 0 for 19 at the plate.
Which is kind of, honestly, a little surprising to me that they didn't leave Wilson in as a DH. Can they not do that? Yeah, once he comes out? Okay.
Not when you don't start the game with one.
Gotcha. Because in our original lineup that we received earlier in the week, before it changed slightly today, I had Workman playing left and Wilson was DHing for him.
Workman looking to, maybe he was taking the entire way that time, but put a charge into the infield. They all had to dive towards home with the bunt being shown. Count it 2-1. Wilson, his wanted bat, popped up to second base. 3-1.
Yeah, if you're Workman, you'll take this, definitely. I mean, now that you don't have a hit on the season, but you've got yourself into a 3-1 count. If you can find a way to get a walk, get yourself down there to first base.
And that's high. So without a base hit all year, Workman gets the walk and leadoff man is aboard. By the way, there is activity in the bullpen for North Putnam. Max Haste is loosening in the pen. Max was a late scratch in the lineup today for North Putt. And we will see the courtesy runner now in for the pitcher. So Jed Fight will come in to run, and then Workman will be allowed to come right back into the game in the top of the sixth. That ball just got away from the catcher for a moment, but nowhere near enough for Fight to try to advance. Lewis, hard hit ball to the first baseman his last time up. Now Brian Jeter going to come out and talk to his pitcher and his infielder. Not sure he'd make a change just yet. Just kind of getting the once over from Barry, saying, hey, what are you seeing? How's he doing? Got a feeling this is as much about strategy than checking the pitcher.
Yeah. And it may be just allowing for a little bit more time down there, too. Coaches usually know their guys pretty well, and you can start to see little signs or indications that maybe they're running out of gas. Sometimes they'll come out and delay the game just a little bit to give the guy in the bullpen a little more time to get loose.
Haste has been really, really good as a pitcher so far this year for North Putt in limited duty. We'll save the line score until he has a chance to enter the game if he does so. Third baseman a step inside the bag on the third base line. And misses outside 2-0.
Yeah, it looked like Coach signaled down to Hayes, and he gave him the signal like, I'm ready to go. So we'll see if after this batter, if maybe there's not a change made, especially if he's able to work himself on.
3-0.
Yeah, you can, as a former pitcher, what I'm seeing from Shaley right now is just he's standing straight up. There's not a lot of bend in that back as the pitch is coming in.
Taken all the way was the number 9 hitter, and that one gets the outside corner. 3-1 the count.
When you get tired, muscles start to get tired, things of that nature. It's the first thing to happen, fatigue, and your mechanics start to go. You start trying to aim it in there.
And that's a walk. So back-to-back walks from Shaley.
This is a huge opportunity for Greencastle. Now you're going to get the change as Hayes is going to come into the game. But Shaley really did a good job today. Getting this deep into the game, only giving up the one run thus far.
So Haste will come in. Shaley goes 4+. He's responsible for the runners on first and second. Walks 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned. Struck out 1, faced 18 batters, did Shaley. Currently he is on the positive side of the decision. Can't lose this game at this point by leaving with 2 runners on and a 3-1 lead. Haste on the year. This is his team-high 10th appearance on the mound. A 1.37 ERA, 2-1 record. 15 1/3 innings, 3 earned runs, 13 walks, has struck out 28 batters, has Haste this year. So Shaley will stay in the game and play third. Or first, excuse me.
It looks like they removed Rudes from the game. Is that what I'm seeing correctly? Shortstop came out.
So Haste will enter in Rude's spot in the lineup.
The bad thing about the last 2 batters that Shaley faced is they're the 8 and 9 hitters, and he walked them both. And now you're getting back to the top part of the lineup, where you could potentially have to face a Tanner Nicholson or a Trey Scanlon again in this inning. Noah Cook's no slouch either, obviously, with the 5 doubles on the season and does a good job in that leadoff spot. He's 0 for 2 today. Sometimes it's just, you get that third at bat, gets you going, or, it's a change of pitcher. Maybe you see the ball coming out of their hand a little bit better.
First pitch fastball in there for a strike.
Hayes comes in, wastes no time. Bringing the heat right away.
Would you say he did that with Haste?
He did.
We have no problem going for the low-hanging fruit on this broadcast. That's in for a strike. 0-2 the count. Caleb Fleming awaits on deck. He has scored the only run for Greencastle today. 1-2. In an absolutely gorgeous day for baseball.
I was getting ready to say the same thing. These are the days when you played, you just love to play with the cooler temperatures like this where it wasn't freezing cold, but.
Yeah, you get the long sleeves out there, you're fine today. It's a great day to play. Just off the outside corner. 2-2. Wind's starting to pick up a little bit now. And again, it's either blowing in from left or blowing across from left to right, depending on where the gust comes from. They'll throw back to second, and nobody is there. Hayes didn't even look before he threw that ball. And that's a free 90 feet all the way around.
Wow, so North Putnam really their own worst enemy so far in this inning. You give up walks to the 8 and 9 hitters, and then Hayes that time thinking that he's going to have a shortstop or second baseman covering the bag, and nobody was home.
Well, there have been 3 errors in this game, and they have all been on a pitcher. And they've all been on errant throws. Infield back at shortstop, in at first and second. A little slapper, that'll tail foul.
Well, I tell you, 10 feet more to the left, that thing lands in, and both those runs walk in. Things getting interesting here in the 5th inning.
Count it 2-2.
You start to hear the Greencastle fans and Players from the dugout starting to feel some momentum shifting their way.
This one well hit down the left field line, tailing foul. As you can see, there is ample room down each of the left and right field foul lines here at Greencastle High School.
That thing, too, with the wind kind of bringing it back towards the field, I really thought it had a chance to stay in fair play that time. So Cook, you know, kind of tough to gauge here. He almost puts one down the right field line, almost puts one down the left field line. Let's see what he does with this offering.
Chops at that one. Stay alive swing. Count remains full at 3-2.
This is a great first at bat. You know, you bring in a new pitcher. You've worked the count full. You're fouling some things off.
You're letting everybody in the dugout kind of see what Haste has to offer.
Yeah.
This one. Shaley goes back. That's in foul territory. Never had a chance to kind of turn around and get his bearings on that one, and we'll do it again. We talk about the fact that it's the first at bat to see this pitcher, but again, these kids have played so much baseball against each other growing up and even earlier this season. I would imagine there are few secrets between these two teams at this point.
Exactly right. You know, you talked about this is the third time they faced each other this year alone.
Ground ball, gets through, base hit. They will hold the runner at third. It is now a 3-2 game. Runners on the corners with nobody out.
Yeah, nice hit there by the leadoff hitter, and Cook able to get the RBI and the single. And, you know, you wonder at this point in time, too, if they don't go ahead and try to take second base. You know, Barry's got a strong arm. Watching him in warm-ups, you know, at the end of each inning, throw down to second. He's on the money, so it's not a sure thing that they won't throw you out at second base.
Fleming, a bunt, single, and a run scored at last inning for Greencastle. Strikeout victim back in the first. Runner at third base would be charged to Shaley. The runner at first base belongs to Haste. Runner takes off. They'll throw through. Ball gets away from the shortstop. Never had a chance, or second baseman, excuse me, never had a chance to apply a swipe tag. But with no out, there's no incentive there for the guy from third to really think about it, especially knowing 2, 3, and 4 are coming through.
Yeah.
I think that was more of a straight steal than anything else. So now a pair of runners in scoring position.
And you may see Fleming put down a bunt here again. I mean, he did such a good job of it last inning, getting himself on base.
Taken all the way that time. Counted 0-2. Again, the run producers are spots 3 and 4, and they're due up next. Scanlon's single last inning gave that duo their 40th RBI of the season. And a swing and a miss. Beautiful curveball. That was a late decision by Fleming to swing because he knew it was going to be strike 3. So he gave it a go and tried to catch up to it. Couldn't do it, 1 down.
Yeah, I almost back on second pitch would have had him bunt again. I really do. I wouldn't necessarily put on the suicide squeeze, but if you could get that bunt down towards the right side, that other runner could probably walk in.
Nicholson. And always interesting in these scenarios, kind of see where the infield plays him. Kendall is playing a little bit further back at shortstop. First, second, and third because he's holding a man on, all playing a little bit closer here. A ground ball with 1 out could be awfully interesting. It won't matter. Kendall gets to it. He turns and fires and wisely looks at third immediately to make sure that the go-ahead run does not score. But that ground ball with eyes ties us at 3 here in the home half of the 5th.
Yeah, nice infield hit. You get exactly what you want there. You get another runner on base safely, and you move some guys around and get another run across. All tied up, and you've got the guy at the plate that you want to have in this situation as well with Scanlon.
Nicholson with his 16th run bat into the season. That also takes Shaley out of the decision. He will not get the win nor the loss in today's game. Again, they will basically give the runner second in Nicholson. The bunts was just a matter of taking all the way for Scanlon. Now you're going to ask your best power hitter to put you in front here in the county championship game.
I'd say it was a big hit last inning that scored the RBI. He's got an opportunity here to get a couple.
Just misses outside on that one as Hayes, 2-1 the count.
I like the way Scanlon's battled today, whether it's offensively at the plate or even defensively. He's out there pitching. You know, he took the one off the shoulder earlier. We saw him make some good plays. Unfortunately, 2 errant throws kind of put them in the hole that they're in. But you can make, with one swing of the bat here, you can make them forget all about those plays if you can get these runners across.
Hayes has thrown a couple of nice curveballs, but he has thrown just as many that have been pretty easy decisions for the batters to make. And that one never threatened the strike zone. That is a walk to load the bases. But at the same time, given Scanlon's ability to drive in a run, that might not be the worst thing in the world for North Putnam.
Took the words right out of my mouth. First base is open. Why not put the dangerous hitter there? You've got Rossick coming to the plate, who's 0 for 2 today.
But of the 4 batters faced so far by Hayes, he has only retired one of them. 2 singles and a walk. Rossick, a ground ball to first base in his first plate appearance, and a pop fly to shallow left in his second appearance. Rossick with 6 runs batted in this season. He is a junior.
And I know that the viewers at home don't need me to tell them, but this is a big opportunity here for Greencastle. For Rossick stepping to the plate, again, you don't need to reach safely in this situation, but you need a fly ball to the outfield or something that sneaks through the infield to kind of keep things going. With only 1 out, last thing you want to do is strike out here or, you know, hit a little grounder back to the pitcher where they throw home and no run scores. You want to do something with this at bat.
Middle infielders might think about trying to turn 2 if the ball is hit their way. They're both playing a little bit deeper here. Rossick, first pitch taken. That's in for a strike.
And that's probably by design there, too, with Hayes struggling a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised with bases loaded if that wasn't a sign from the coach to take that first pitch.
That misses 1-1 the count. Line drive, that hits the pitcher. It is hockey season. Kick, save, and a beauty applies.
Boy.
As hard as Rossick hit that, he probably should have had 2 RBI. He didn't follow the axiom of hit them where they ain't. He hit them where they were.
Yeah.
They're still tied at 3.
Boy, look at this. Haste. Just almost catches it in his pant leg. I mean, the way that thing came off. And made a great play. Going to check the leg real quick. Says, I'm good. Boy, that ball was hit hard.
That might have been the hardest hit ball we've seen today.
Yeah.
So now everybody can back up because there are 2 outs. And so Cook becomes the 8th batter to the plate this inning. That's in for a strike. 6th batter that Haste has faced. Cook just 5 runs batted in this year. A chance for 1 or 2 more right now. It has been North Putt for the most part that has struggled to convert the runners on the base pass today. They have left 7 on base. Greencastle just 3, but the bases are loaded as we speak. That one wrapped foul. 1-2 the count.
I'd say that play from Haste is huge. You know, you almost have to circle that because if that gets through, Greencastle, they score 2 runs easily. Instead, it ends up being the second out of the inning, and now you can, you know, you've got an out everywhere you look, any base.
That one gets away from the catcher. He'll head towards the backstop. Not in time on the throw. And Greencastle up 4-3.
And that's the benefit of having the speedster over at third base and Nicholson, and heads up right away. As soon as he gets past Barry, he was on his way home. You see him charging down the baseline, and Barry does a good job of getting into it quickly. The throw's kind of where it needs to be, but not in time to get the speedster.
Now we put that on the catcher. That's one he's got to grab. Count full at 3-2. And this one, it's a foul ball.
It hit in fair territory, but when it crossed the bag, it was foul. Great call by the umpire. That's the replay of the run coming home again. And I'm with you. I mean, it's tough on the catcher sometimes back there, but you got to come up with those.
Strike, got him, right on the outside corner. Great pitch by Haste. Greencastle quickly takes the lead back from North Putnam. They answer the Cougars 3 in the top half of the 5th with 3 of their own in the bottom half. To the top of the 6th we go. Greencastle in front by 1 here on Endeavor Communications.
Construction projects mean deadlines. At McAllister Machinery and the Cat Rental Store, we understand the challenges our customers face. That's why our team of professionals are here to help. From our knowledgeable support staff to our industry-leading service department, McAllister Machinery and the Cat Rental Store are here to make sure you get the right equipment delivered on time. Whether it's Cat equipment, JLG lifts, or Solaire air compressors, we carry it all. McAllister Machinery and the Cat Rental Store, helping build Indiana since 1945.
Workman now in position to get the win for a county championship for Greencastle. He will face 8, 9, and 1. And they batter for the first time, and Haste will be the number 9 man in the lineup for North Putt. Trey Strazikar, the DH, will lead things off here for the Cougars.
Well, it seemed early on that we weren't going to get very much scoring today. It's turned into a 4-3 game. We've had a little bit of excitement. I'll tell you, a bullet dodge by North Putnam in the last inning, because you're standing out there with bases loaded and you've got limited outs. That could have opened some floodgates. Very fortunate. You got to credit Haste with that great play. Taking one off the shin, but throwing the runner out of home.
Strazikar, shallow left field. Left fielder had a long run to make, but had a good amount of time to get there. That ball hung up into the wind. And 1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Strazikar made good contact, but ball hung up just enough for Riley Cook to go track it down. So first at bat today for Haste. Haste was in the original starting lineup and a late change made by North Putt. Haste this season just batting .116 with 3 runs batted in. He replaces Hayden Roods, who singled and scored last time up. That's in for a strike.
And Workman probably definitely, well, that kind of sounds funny, doesn't it? Probably definitely enjoys working in this situation more than he did when he came in the last inning in relief with runners out there on base. You know, you get to come out fresh. You got a 1-run lead. It's amazing how quickly things can change in a game.
I think you can elect to go with definitely on that one.
How about just definitely?
There you go. 2-2. Time called for and granted.
Wanted to leave just a little bit of doubt there.
Seeing the batter in haste. Keep that foot in the batter's box. Even in between pitches. Fouls this one off. That is now a point of emphasis. Pace of play is an emphasis at all levels of professional baseball, but if you go to a game at Victory Field this season, or I'm sure one of the other single-A ballparks like South Bend or Fort Wayne, you will see a clock in both center field and behind home plate where they are emphasizing pace of play. This one lashed into left field for a base hit. Gets by Cook for a moment, and with that haste will hustle into second base.
Cook upset with himself out there and left that he let it get by him. Now, great heads-up play there by Hayes to go ahead and take second as well, as this one was a definite single. But you see here, it gets by Cook. And then he dropped it the second time, so it, again, kind of allowed Hayes to advance.
That'll be both a hit and an error on the play, E7. But Hayes 1 for 1 today. For Hayes should hit just his 6th hit of the season. This one, pitcher charges, and I was going to say, I looked at first and said, wait a minute, the guy's literally running right behind me. I'll turn around and tag him. 2 down, runner at third base.
Good job by Workman here. And, you know, maybe for a second you think, I'll go ahead and throw this because Shaley's got a little bit of size on me, but does a good job standing in, just applying the tag.
Even if for some reason he would have missed the tag, runner would have been called out for running far inside the baseline. Runner's allowed to get a little bit of room to the outside of it, not so much on the inside. Off the hands, Workman there. When he got putouts in this inning, he got them quickly. Runner stranded at third base for North Putt. It's insurance run time for Greencastle. They lead 4-3 going to the bottom half of the 6th. You're watching the Putnam County Championship game here on Endeavor Communications.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful
North Putt trying to keep this a 1-run deficit going to the bottom half of the 6th inning here on Endeavor Communications. 800-922-6677 is the phone number for more information. WeEndeavor.com for all of your telecommunications and technology needs. Haste on for his first full inning of work, although he had to record 3 putouts in the, or 3 outs, I should say, in the bottom half of the 5th. And unfortunately, he's currently on the hook for the loss with 1 inning of work. Seven, 8, and 9 coming through here for Greencastle. Ozawa, Workman spot due up, and then Lewis.
Just got to see him come up and collect the trophy as we're approaching the, towards the end of this game. And one of these teams is going to be presented with that at the conclusion. Had the bucket in his hand as well, so we got kind of the up close and personal look at those.
Well, they're big on trophy games in these parts. If the Monon Bell means anything to you. Thought it fitting that Greencastle opened their season by playing Crawfordsville. I'm like, it just makes sense.
Sure. Crawfordsville having a great year for baseball.
Crawfordsville always has a great year in baseball. That is one of the, and it's interesting that so many of the high schools that would be considered perennial powers in the sport are actually 3A schools and not 4A schools. That's in for a strike. Now, one of them at Andrean moved up, or will move up likely next year. But Jasper, Norwell, Crawfordsville, all in the 3A category as far as baseball is concerned. Western is in 4A. They're a 3A move up from a couple of years back. Ozawa today 0 for 2. Ground ball to second. And a ground ball to first base. That's in for a strike. Full count now. Looking ahead for North Putnam. They're middle of the lineup, 3, 4, and 5 due up next. Ground ball to second. Ozawa hustling down the line, but can't get there in time, and there's one down.
That's the third time today that he's pulled the ball to that side, and you see some good speed hustling down the line, but not able to get on base.
So Workman walked, and Fight came on to be the pinch runner, would come around to score the second run for Greencastle. Misses. Two and 0.
Workman, you talked about hitless on the season so far. He got the walk last inning. And ahead in this account, again.
Yeah, he'll happily keep taking the free bases
Sure.
if they give them to him. That misses as well. I get the feeling Workman's taking it both 3-0 and 3-1 here if it gets to that point.
Sure.
I think you can throw a couple of dead red fastballs here if you're Haste. Didn't come close.
Well, those are the outs in a game like this that you got to get them. You know, you can ill afford to put 8, 9 hitters on base via a 4-pitch walk, especially when they struggle from the plate, you know, overall in the season.
So Levi Lewis, who also walked in his last plate appearance. And a ground ball to the first baseman before that. This completes the third trip through the lineup for the Tiger Cubs. This game approaches the 2-hour mark. That's in for a strike. The run scored by Lewis last inning, his 10th run scored this season. And Greencastle going for their 4th consecutive win, all against county competition. Having beaten Cloverdale Saturday in the county semifinals, then Monday and Tuesday in regular season games. That misses high. They'll throw behind the runner, but nothing doing there. This would extend the longest winning streak of the season for Greencastle. Strike called.
Two count now for Hayes. You can ill afford to get to that full count with this batter. You got to go after him right here. well wide of the zone. This is what hurt him so bad last inning. You know, you give up those walks to Workman and then to Lewis, and you know, you're one more ball away from doing that again here.
And a swing and a miss.
It's a good pitch. Good pitch that time. Battle back and get the strikeout.
Third strikeout for Haste in 9 batters faced. Cook, who singled and got an RBI in his last plate appearance, his 10th run batted into the season. He was thrown out at home on the ball that Haste just did a good job of getting in the way of, the line drive.
Yeah.
Smacked by Rossick in the bottom half of the 5th inning.
Did his best Karate Kid impersonation. Speaking of, Buffalo Wild Wings has a wonderful commercial that references the great original Karate Kid movie.
You're a big fan of William Zabka cameos there, Sean?
I think it's great.
His career's kind of had a second life over the last few years, hasn't it?
Yeah. Sweep the leg.
Counted 0-2. This one gets away from the catcher. That'll be a wild pitch.
Workman able to get down to second base easily that time as it gets away from Barry.
Now any ball that gets to the infield, you almost will send Workman just to make sure that one of the North Putnam outfielders has to make an outstanding throw to make a play at the plate. Swing and a miss. So it does not matter. 4 strikeouts in 2 innings of work, but as of now, Haste is on the hook for the loss. 3, 4, and 5 coming up for North Putt. 1 to keep it going, 2 to take the lead. The top half of the 7th here in the Putnam County Baseball Championship game.
Enjoy the freedom of independent living with Endeavor's medical alert system. Contact emergency help or a loved one directly through the water-resistant 2-way voice pendant. It's as easy as pressing a button to call for help in and around your home. The medical alert system is easy to use and connects directly to your landline telephone. Call 1-800-922-6677 or go to our website at weendeavor.com for more details. Endeavor Communications, we help protect what you cherish most.
Greencastle 3 outs away from claiming the Putnam County Baseball Championship. Certainly by no means a done deal at this point. Staked to a 1-run lead. 1 run for Greencastle, bottom of the 4th. 3 for North Putt, top of the 5th. Greencastle answers with 3 in the bottom half of the 5th.
Are you ready for your race day festivities this weekend coming up?
As much as I love being around the track at the month of May, barring any rain issues on Sunday, I will be celebrating beginning at 7:01 p.m. on Sunday. Post-race show signs off at 7 p.m. on Sunday.
There you go. Any early predictions on a winner?
A Penske car. How about that for taking a chance?
There you go.
That was my station on Saturday. If this tournament had been played to its completion on Saturday, I would not have had the pleasure of checking off Greencastle High School from the bucket list of Indiana sports destinations. Barry, Kendall, and Benj, 3, 4, 5 coming up here. Workman looking for the win. That's in for a strike. And I think the concession stand is officially closed for business, the floor below us. Sprayed foul, 0-2. You and I have had this conversation off there before. I'm not sure we ever had this on there. But I have compiled a list of places I have either played at as an athlete many moons ago, broadcast games from or broadcast their team's games at some point in time. And I have never had the pleasure of doing a game at Greencastle or involving the Tiger Cubs. So I get to add that to my list today.
Glad we could help you out with that.
I'm one Cloverdale game away from sweeping Putnam County at this point. 1-2.
Maybe you can come back and join us when we do the Putnam County basketball tournament.
I'll make a note of it. 2-2. Barry reaching a fielder's choice and scored back in the 5th. Walked in the 3rd. Chased ball 3. The count remains 2-2. Barry, a .250 batter entering today's game and has 9 runs batted in this season.
And they're running out of outs. I mean, they're down to the last at bat, so they got to dig in here and try to figure out Workman. He's done a good job of coming in and throwing strikes and getting batters out thus far.
Line drive, base hit.
Just like that. As soon as I start talking about it, there it is.
So tying runners aboard. And the hitters that you want coming to the plate coming up for North Putt. Kendall, the sophomore, due up first. Kendall singled and had an RBI in his last plate appearance, his 19th run batted into the year. 1 for 3 on the day. Runner going, bunt popped up. They can throw back to first. 1 pitch and 2 outs.
And that typically is tough when you know you're only down 1. You're trying to get that runner into scoring position, but you're asking your number 4 hitter, who probably doesn't bunt very often in a game situation, to get one down, and he pops it straight up. Workman comes off the mound, does another great job fielding his position. Just like that, the tide turns.
Strike.
That's tough. You know, you go from a runner on with no outs to nobody on and 2 outs.
This one, third baseman, not able to snag it. That's a fair ball. Benj makes the turn at first. That double play proving even more needed for Greencastle with this shot by Kane Benj.
I think you got to think there, even if they were to get Kendall out, you'd been able to advance your runner there. Have him in scoring position at this point in time with 1 out in the inning. But it's tough. You understand exactly what coach was trying to do there.
Now Benj takes off. They throw down to second and throw to the wrong side of the bag. That throws towards the second base side. They might have had a look. The tying run now in scoring position for Kyler Jeter, who is 1 for 2 today.
So that steal now giving Jeter an opportunity to come through and be somewhat of a hero today to try to get that tying run in.
Jeter on the year, 10 runs batted in. Foul tip back into the mitt. Going to count it 0-2.
Nope, high and inside. Fastball. Yep.
Just high. That nervous look from Jeter just to make sure that ball didn't dip into the zone at the last minute.
Say that's really good placement there from Workman, though. That's when you're that far ahead in the count, you want to dance around the zone.
Strike 3 called.
Got him.
Ball game is over, and Greencastle has claimed the Putnam County Baseball Championship. Final score this afternoon from Greencastle High School. Tiger Cubs win 4-3. We're back to wrap it up next here on Endeavor Communications.
Endeavor Communications has been your hometown telephone provider for over 60 years. By providing crystal clear voice service, super fast internet, exciting television entertainment, security systems to help keep your family safe, and IT services for home and business, Endeavor continues to be the leader of technology in our communities. Call 1-800-922-6677 or go to our website at weendeavor.com for more details about all Endeavor services.
Runners on your mark.
You rolled out at the dawning of the day. Heart racing as we made your little getaway. But there's always scars when you fall down. We lose our way, we get back up again. It's never too late to get back up again. And one day you won't shine again. You may be knocked down, but not out forever. Lose our way, we get back up again. It's never too late to get back up again. And one day.
Endeavor eTex provides outstanding IT and computer-related services for your home or business. Whether you need a simple home PC tune-up or a large-scale network installation for your business or your municipality, Endeavor eTex is your final destination for all of your IT needs. Maintenance agreements are available and services open to members and non-members alike. Call 1-877-524-9109 or go to our website at weendeavor.com for more details.
Welcome back for the final time to Greencastle this evening. Greg Rakestraw, Sean Walker with you on Endeavor Communications. Both the trophy and the bucket now belong to Greencastle High School. The 5 seniors posing around both of the additions to the trophy case here at Greencastle. An outstanding game, a well-played game, and a competitive game, which is what we expected. Greencastle does just enough to get the home victory here this evening.
It was a lot of fun to watch, and things got a little sloppy at times with errors, but that's what you expect at this level of baseball. And overall, very entertaining. I was glad I got to come in and take in the championship game with you.
Let's get the player of the game, and it's going to be the young man that pitched 2 2/3 innings of scoreless relief. Brandon Workman goes to 3-3 on the season. He did have to deal with 4 hits, got a timely double play in the 7th inning. 2 strikeouts as well. He gets the win, and he's our player of the game.
He is, and he came in and he did a great job of pitching and shutting down hitters, but he also worked himself on twice with the walks and able to score one of those runs. So a great job by Workman.
It's a very good point. I didn't even think about his offensive efforts, but a young man that was 0 for 19 at the plate this season came to the plate twice, got walked twice, so even more reason he is a deserving winner of our Player of the Game award.
Plus, you got to sprinkle in his defense. He came off the mound twice to make big plays for this team.
No doubt about that. Haste gets the loss. He falls to 2-2 on the season. North Putt now 8-13. Greencastle 11-10. Greencastle will play tomorrow at Northview to wind up the regular season before they play Indian Creek in the Danville sectional. Next Wednesday, North Putnam will play host to Fountain Central for a doubleheader on Saturday. Before then, they host a 7-team sectional. Well, they will play conference rival Cascade on Wednesday. For Sean Walker and our entire MTC Sports crew, this is Greg Rakestraw. Thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations, Greencastle, on winning the Putnam County Baseball Championship. You've been watching on Endeavor Communications.